It's another hot, dry morning. This is way over a month that we've had this warm, well not warm, but hot for us, very hot, very dry weather. I've never known a year like it. And of course it takes its toll on the garden. Some plants really don't like the heat. And because we're used to having cool, moist weather, we tend to concentrate on plants that enjoy cool, moist conditions. So we have here, you can see Corydalis Creighton blue in a warm, in a dry, shady area, frazzling up. But it's not lost completely, it will come back. We've just lost the extended growth. Dactylorizers really are a star because they seem to thrive in the cool, moist, normal summers we get, and they're thriving also in this warm, dry period. You can see more in the trough there. Other plants that are really enjoying it are the Mutisia. This is a really good climbing daisy from South America. The daisy flowers really enjoying opening in the sunshine. You turn around, you can see it's so hot and dry, we've put up our gazebo thing here to give us some shade. But the slab beds looking fine. If I come round, let's look at a few of the troughs. So we've got the dactylorizers in the trough, the little bonsais, the Erinus alpinus in the trough down there is starting to go over. There's more little saxifrages in these tiny little troughs down here. Very little. If you come round to the campanulas and troughs that normally don't do too well, but this year they're responding to the heat. More dactylorizers. These are going, the earlier ones that are going now over. We've all taught little clumps of the feverfew we're happy to let pop around. If I spin round, we can see another trough full of dactylorizer. Round here we've got dwarf Arquilegia, little tiny Aquilegias, Hypericums. This end we've got Hypericum reptans from the Himalaya. Flowering earlier this year than it usually does. Molly's heard something to go and investigate. So we just spin round to another trough. This Molly, it's enough. Cochlearia danica has been flowering for months. So good. Such a great little plant. And more campanulus, looking splendid in this wonderful weather. They're in shade at the moment. That's the thing, if I move round and move across, you can see how of the slab beds, with the shade we've got of the trees, if I pan up, and you can see the trees provide shade, so even though it's very sunny, there's none of these are in permanent sunshine. They all get periods, so the one that's in sun at the moment will go into shade as this one, as they each take their turn in the sun. So around just quiet moments. The bulb bed looking a bit of a mess. It's partly because of the dry, but also I've been in there working, lifting, splitting, taking some things out. I'm changing the summer growth, so I've been taking out some of the bigger aconite, and I've got other plants to get planted in there. Come round here, I want to look at the This is Campanula persicifolia, which is tall. That's a very tall one, as you can see. But if we come down, you can see some short ones. So this is, we originally got this as Campanula nitida, and this is Campanula nitida alba, and I'll go along in a minute. You can see the normal lavender one along there. They vary, but it's exactly the same plant. These came from the same seeds as this big one, but you just have to select. You can tell which ones are going to be like this because the foliage is sort of waxy and crisp, unlike, so that this is you know, is Campanula nitida. If I come around here to these leaves, this is the, I'm going to take this out because I don't really want this in here. That is the type plant, so the tall one. Here's another nice white one. Flowers quite campanulate. So let's move along down to the other one. Here you can see again, look at the same kind of nice, tight, crispy foliage. So these are really nice. I'm going to propagate from these small forms. If I turn round, you can see again, this is the foliage of the larger one. Let's see, I don't want any of that. I'll remove all that. And here is the foliage of another little white one. So that's desirable. I'm not going to get rid of the big ones. I just don't want them in that spot. So we just spin around here, the little Roscoias, Roscoia alpina, and this is the Roscoia salicifolia. The Meconopsis, of course, have all but gone over. They would normally have lasted longer. Down here, the Geranium sanguineum. We don't have too much of that around the back, a few plants. That's mostly around the front and the drive. Here's another group of Roscoia gone over in the heat. And there's more there, we're just letting them self-seed around. Come round into this bed, a nice white orchid. Really nice. Slowly increasing. I would like it to increase better. So I think we'll just wander up the garden now and let you see what a garden in drought looks like. And a garden that's, at this time of year, we're doing work on. So we are getting in. This Dicentra is going to be thinned down. Spin around into the shade. You've got the Arisemas. Various Arisemas flowering in there. The Cardiocrinum flowering at a fraction of its normal height. It would normally be twice that high, but in the hot, dry weather, much shorter. And round the other side we've got the Mocharis Bardenthina probably. But in the garden they hybridize, so garden hybrids really. The Trilliums suffering a bit from the drought as well. They'll go back soon. And we just wander up. I think I'll go in the back way, going up one of the back paths down by the hedge to get up to my marginal bed by the pond. There's another little campanula growing at the base of a bonsai pot by the pond. So this is my new marginal bed I made last year, looking very lush. It's the one area in the garden that's got plenty of water. The plants by the pond, so we've got Dactyla rhizos and Primulus. Out there we have the the island with the salix. And if we pan up the garden, across the garden, you can see so much more. So these are the little moments that make it worthwhile. Just the primulas and the dactylorizas going across the pond. Let's move round to one of the other beds, but you can see the effect of light and shade in our garden. Underneath the laburnum, which you can tell is all its flowers have dropped, they're all dry on the ground. I'll get them swept up and tidied soon, because if the rain does come, or when the rain comes, they'll all get into a mucky mess. In the back there you can see how the sun's breaking in there and heating up and drying everything out. But I'll just come round and finish off towards here. You can see the dactylorizas, how they sport about all over the garden. So we'll come round and finish up here in the new bed with some of the new plantings. I have been watering in these newer areas, because when you plant a new area you have to make sure it's watered until the plants establish. Nice little plants. I love Cornus. Nice little cluster of Cornus. Got its Cornus canadensis. And let's just round off up here. If we come up to, we saw some of the dwarf or smaller Roscoias. Here's some of the bigger Roscoias here. The colour matching that of the dactylorhiza, and up in the shade there there's a Meconopsis that's like violet tinged as well. So there we go, there's the garden in the heat, the hot dry. A lot of our plants are not looking happy, but no matter what the weather, there'll always be some plants that enjoy it. So I suppose we just have to enjoy the weather and keep waiting for the rain to come back to give some relief to the plants in the garden.